Hi, everybody, and welcome to Your City, Your County. And once again, we're happy to have two guests. This is, I believe, your first time here.
Second time.
Second time. Oh, boy, there goes my memory. We're going to be talking today about the ADRC, which is the Aging and Disability Resource Center of the Lakeshore. And I know that there's an Aging and Disability Resource Center in Door County, and this is the Lakeshore version. We're going to start out by talking with our guest, first of all, who is Wendy Hutterer, and she's the director of the ADRC of the Lakeshore. And I'd like to ask you just a few questions, if you can kind of tell us basically what your organization does.
So we serve Manitowoc and Kewaunee County. About 12 years ago, the two counties joined to make a regional ADRC. So that's where the name Lakeshore came from. Before it was just ADRC, and then they added of the Lakeshore when the two combined. So we serve ages 18 and above, and in two categories. So there is some specific funds that are for 60 and over, and those are like the older American Act dollars that are federal dollars. And then we have the 18 and above category 2 that we serve in different categories too. So I don't want to get too much into that because that'll be something for Melissa to speak on.
Okay.
But yeah, so obviously our name says it, aging and disability. We help serve those individuals, get connected with possible resources that enhance life, help them be more independent, have the supports they need to continue in the community, or those supports might help them transfer into long-term care.
Okay. I always kind of think of ADRC as being older, but it doesn't sound like it is.
Nope, we serve 18 and above.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And you serve in Manitowoc and Kewaunee County. Are these the ADRCs? Are they throughout the state, or is this? I mean, I know that you serve two counties, and I know that there's one in Door County. But I mean, if I went over to Oconto County, would I find one?
Yep. It is actually by law, every county is required to have an ADRC and have those services for the aging and disabled.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How many staff people do you have working with you?
We have 29 on our team.
Wow,
Yep.
that's big.
Yeah, so that's for serving both counties. So just not 29 in Kewaunee, but between the two counties, 29 we have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, where do you hang out? I mean, where's your home?
Well, no, I primarily am in Manitowoc now, and then I come at least one day a week to Kewaunee.
Okay, and we're going to switch now over to your
great.
associate here, who is Melissa Konop, and she's the ADRC program manager.
Yep.
And I'm going to ask you the same thing. Where do you live?
Sure. So, like Wendy, I go back and forth between both offices a couple days a week. Our office in Kewaunee County is at 810 Lincoln Street in the Human Services Administrative Building. The old hospital is what a lot of people refer
Okay.
to it
Yeah.
as, where we're located. So
In Kewaunee?
Yep, in Kewaunee.
Okay.
So all of us supervisors, we all split our time between both offices, along with some staff as well.
Okay. What kind of things do you do in your position?
So there are 3 different programs that I oversee, which are the information and assistance specialists, our disability benefits specialists, and our dementia care specialists. So a lot of specialists.
Okay. Okay.
County.
Let's start at the beginning, the
Sure.
first one you mentioned.
So a lot of times, whenever somebody calls our office, a lot of times the first people they're going to talk to are information and assistance specialists, or you'll hear people call them our INA workers. So they're the people who you're going to talk to on the phone, and you might say, hey, I'm calling and I need some help for my mom or dad, or my daughter's going to be turning 18. What programs are available? People call with just about any question. Then we try to triage those questions and get people connected to whatever resources might be available to them. We want to let them know whatever they may qualify for or what programs are out there, and just get them connected to the right agencies or the right people in the community.
Yeah, and that has to be hard for somebody who's maybe younger and looking after an older parent or an older relative of some kind,
Yep.
and going, where do I go from here?
Yep, we get a lot of emails, a lot of phone calls every day. Our phone starts ringing at 8 a.m. every morning with people asking questions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that I had some older relatives at one point, and somebody used, I think it was maybe a predecessor to this group, but there was somebody that they could call at the courthouse, and they said, okay, here's what you need to do. These folks are even from out of state, and they said, okay,
Yes.
here's where you can get a start anyway.
Yep. Yep. A lot of times we're directing people to the right county departments, the right community agencies when they're calling out of state, or like Wendy said, there's an ADRC in every county, so it might be like they're calling for Manitowoc or Kewaunee County, but you know, they might call our office and they're like, well, my mom and dad live in a different county, but we'll definitely connect them to the ADRC that runs that county and get them
Sure.
set up there.
Yeah. Do they all operate pretty much the same in all the different counties?
Yeah, we track. I mean, definitely the goal is to have somebody that they can talk to right when they call the ADRC. And obviously there's different resources for each county. Some counties are bigger, more rural, you know, heavily populated, so there might be different resources, but there's always an information and assistance specialist in each ADRC to get them connected to answer their questions.
Now, and I'm going to switch over to this side
Yes.
again. Wendy, the question would be if somebody has a concern and they have a parent or someone who needs help, do you assign someone to them specifically for that?
I think we have a phenomenal setup that helps people feel like they are served fairly immediately, like not put on hold. Like a lot of times, right, you'll hear people complain and worry that when I call someplace, I get sent through this voicemail system or prompting. You will not. When you call our office, you'll always receive a person. And then you will be transferred once, is our hope always. We really try to do just a one transfer type of system. So, and rarely should you get a voicemail, but if you do, our standard is within 24 hours, business hours, right? You'll get a phone call back. So we always have somebody though on staff that takes walk-ins or those calls. So Melissa, on Melissa's team, she'll usually have 2 team members, typically, that one will take the calls that come in and then one will see those that walk in through the door. So when someone comes in, they should be seeing somebody. They may have to wait a short bit of time if that person's in with somebody else, but most times you'll be able to immediately get seen, have your questions answered, and get connected where you need to get connected.
Okay. Where do most of your clients come? I mean, I suppose it varies greatly, but I mean, you know, do you get like contacts with 911? Do you get contacts with the hospital and that sort of thing?
You mean like referrals from
Yes.
them? I would say more hospitals, not
Hospitals,
so much.
nursing
Yeah.
homes, assisted livings,
Yep.
variety.
Yep. Sometimes family members, sometimes neighbors will call. It might be another service provider or neighbor, just somebody that's come in contact with somebody they have a concern about, and will call us and say, could you look into this or could you follow up?
Yeah, and that way it doesn't involve that person directly in maybe noticing that the neighbor, they've kind of been, you know, slipping a little bit, you know, and maybe I can just have somebody else take care of this rather than me.
Check in, yeah. Well, because sometimes people, right, they don't want their situation shared. So sometimes that will hold others back from sharing it, right? They don't want to upset somebody.
Sure.
So we really can come in as an unbiased source. And our services are not mandated. So people can feel secure in knowing that even if we give you a call, you won't be forced to do anything. We're just offering you opportunity and options to help enhance your life, but nothing that will be forced upon you. And we always are very good, and Melissa's team is trained in that manner to really listen to people and what their needs are and what they want. We don't direct that. We help them figure out what they need to best suit their life.
How do you how are you financed?
Oh, well,
Well, we just do it voluntarily.
yeah,
and
we all just show up and do it, yeah.
all have fun.
yeah. We have, so federal funding and some state funding. And a little bit of like county subsidy dollars. So, yeah, but that is how we are funded. And then if people donate, we do have sometimes generous people that are willing to donate towards our programs. Our programming is donation based, so that means like prevention programs, any of our meal programs, really any of our programs, people can have the opportunity to donate for those services. There are no fees required, but donations are accepted. And we do have people who come in even for our Ben specs. Definitely for the meals, people will donate so much a month toward those meals, and that all helps us be able to serve more people and continue to avoid wait lists.
Okay, very good. Melissa, do you get involved at all with Meals on Wheels at all?
Sure. So yeah, our program does the home delivered meals, or the Meals on Wheels program, for both counties. So I want to say Wendy would maybe know the exact number, but it's over 200 or 400 people, like Monday through Friday, that we're serving hot home delivered meals to
Between the
in
two
both
counties, yeah.
both counties. So it's definitely a needed program in Kewaunee County, and we do our best to provide them with those hot meals along with our congregate meal sites that we have available.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you have you must have some volunteers who drive these meals around.
We have great volunteers that help deliver those meals and help run the meal sites. We're always looking for more, so if anyone is willing to help out, we definitely are always looking for more volunteers for sure. But yeah, we definitely rely on the volunteers to deliver those meals.
Are they compensated with gas or anything? Or?
I believe, yep, the
Mileage.
mileage reimbursement. Yep, we do. They do use their own vehicles, or we do have some county vehicles available, but if they use their own, we definitely have the mileage reimbursement.
Okay, that's good. What kind of hours are you open?
So our office in Kewaunee County, we are open Monday through Friday, 8 in the morning till 4:30. And in our Manitowoc office, 8 to 4:30, except for Mondays we're open till 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So our phones will always be on Mondays till 5 o'clock, whether Manitowoc or Kewaunee County.
What if something happens and somebody needs you on Saturday or Sunday? Do they leave a message?
Yep, we definitely have a voicemail set up, and then our information and assistance specialist, whoever's on call that day, will return their call right away on Monday.
And on that voicemail, it indicates that if it is a crisis, it gives them the contact information of where they should call.
Okay.
Because we are not a crisis agency, so we always want to make sure if people call on our off hours that they have the information they need to get in contact with somebody that could assist in a crisis.
Okay, so it might give them like a 911 call
Yep.
or somebody else
Yep.
who could help them out.
Yeah, and just speaking to the difference in hours on those Mondays, and just knowing that we, as an ADRC, didn't decide that we are a county agency, so we have to follow the county hours. So in Kewaunee, on Monday, it's 8 to 4:30, we follow their hours, and in Manitowoc, actually, the county hours are from 8 till 5, so then we
Okay.
follow those hours. So
Okay.
it's not that we decided to put more hours in at one place or the other, yeah.
This guy looks really tired. We
Yeah.
need some more time off.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And then moving back, and we're talking again, I should tell everybody once again, we're talking to Wendy Hutterer, who is the director of the Aging and Disability Resource Center of the Lakeshore, which is Manitowoc and Kewaunee County. She's the overall head. And then we have the program director, who's Melissa Konop, and she's with the ADRC. Melissa, let me ask you a little bit about, and like I was saying previously, I always think of people being older and needing this service, but what kind of people do you serve who are perhaps younger?
So a lot of times we will start working with young adults who are starting at age 17 and a half. These folks would be maybe someone who has like a developmental disability or physical disability. who are in a program through our children's department where they're coming of age 18 and they're needing to switch into adult programs. So we help to make that smooth transition from children's programs to adult long-term care programs. So, and then our disability benefits specialists a lot of times can help families apply for disability benefits that are age 18 to age 59.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's a pretty wide age group. We do start in the younger population, and I always tell people 18 to 105 is the oldest lady I worked with. So we have a wide age range.
Yeah.
But yes, at 17 and a half, we start kind of preparing some families and individuals for those adult programs.
Mm-hmm. Do you work with, and I know that Kewaunee County has had like a mop factory, manufacturing
Yes.
factory, and I'm sorry the name escapes me.
Yes.
But do you work with those type of
Yep.
organizations?
So I know years ago I went and took a tour at East Shore Industries. Or
Yes.
it's
Thank
ESI
you.
now.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Where I've seen a lot of these individuals making those mops, and I'm like, wow, like I was just fascinated seeing that process. And yet, so people are there making those mops that they may be on a long-term care program that's funded them to have that work experience and job experience there over at ESI.
Mm-hmm. I know I've been involved in Door County with Sunshine House and working with them, and to see those people, they love their work. It's like, what do you mean I have a day off? I don't want a day off.
Right.
I want to work, and I'm sure that it's the same situation in Kewaunee County as well.
Those programs, they're a huge benefit for socialization, getting used to punching that time clock, and having a purpose in life, and going to their job and meeting their friends there, their coworkers,
Sure.
and feeling, productive every day with making those mops and the bird, I think bird feeders too, and a whole bunch of things that they have there. And a lot of times they're making products for local companies as well. So that's great that they can involve the whole community.
And I'm sure that some of them move on too to regular businesses where they
correct.
would hire
I think that's
a
always the
person or
goal.
something.
Yep. Through other agencies, there's a program, Division of Vocational Rehab, or DVR, sometimes, who will be working with some younger individuals to help them get some job experience with a job coach, and help them build a resume and get that job experience or volunteer experience to help them look for employment in the communities.
Sure. And you're working with people of all levels.
Correct.
Too, I'm sure.
Yep.
Okay. In speaking with you a little bit earlier, Wendy, you had written down for me, thank you very much, a few tips and some things you were going to talk about. And if you'd like to talk about those, first of all, how about nutrition?
Okay. And you and Melissa touched
We
a
may
little
have
bit on it.
covered some of that,
Yeah.
yeah.
The home delivered meals. As Melissa said, a lot of people were serving typically 80,000 to 100,000 meals a year go out between the two counties. Yes, and volunteers are I'll just say it again, volunteers are very much needed. And to add to that, really seriously, our programs can't run without volunteers. We do not have enough financial resources to meet the demand and need to be able to service as much as we do for those meal programs. So we will find, though, that that volunteer will say that they get more out of it than what they even could imagine, because these individuals they're delivering to, some of them, this is the only person they ever see. So this is their connection to the community. This is their reminder that they're not forgotten and that they're still valuable. So I think that part of it really, it's not just about dropping that meal off, right? It's about knowing that you're making someone feel seen and that supported and that they're not forgotten. So the volunteer opportunity really is an opportunity to give back in a pretty big way. So I'm sure it won't be the last time during this that Melissa and I will bring up that we need volunteers. And then we have our congregate sites, and that's just we have our meal sites, and you go there and eat the meal. And it's to increase and promote socialization in those areas. So that's part of that program. And then we have caregiver specialist programs, which are really great. Those programs are more of like a short-term program where you're helping people who are caring for their loved ones. These aren't professionals, but these are people caring for their loved ones. And it has been shown that many caregivers' health just starts to decline faster than the person they're caring for. So these programs are set up to give them some respite, some support. So there are dollars that come with that where we can help put in place some respite where somebody might come in so that that individual can step away maybe and just go have lunch with a friend. Might help with baths, might help with cleaning, anything that can relieve some of the stress and pressures of being a caregiver. We also then do a class, Powerful Tools for Caregivers, that helps those individuals establish tools that help them care for themselves. And then become surrounded by others who are going through the same thing they are. That's like huge, and that will continue then on like a monthly basis, where after that class, we'll offer an opportunity to bring those individuals back together so they can continue to be a support and a place to come where they feel safe sharing what's going on, right, with somebody who understands.
Yeah, it's so much better not to think I'm the only one in the whole world that's going through this whole venture, I would say. Yeah.
I mean, and everybody's hope, right, is to stay in their home for as long as possible. So the job they're doing, right, for their loved ones is pretty impactful and important. It reduces the likelihood that those individuals will go into long-term care, nursing home, assisted livings. So they are doing a pretty profound duty, and it can get pretty heavy for them at times.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
I would think so. And do you have prevention programs that help people to maybe somebody's starting to be a little shaky and you can meet with that person, or they're starting to go in that direction a little bit and you want to stop that?
Yeah, yep. So Powerful Tools was one of the prevention programs we talked about. And then stepping on with what you're kind of leading to is a falls prevention class. And falls are one of the leading causes of people's health to decline at an advanced stage or to end up in maybe long-term care. So I know we'll have people say, well, I'm doing fine, I don't need that, but really that's the time to do it so that you can stay fine. So this is a great class. It's 7 weeks. We have professionals come in. We have dentists, we have a physical therapist, I think a pharmacist comes in. All of these individuals that can help you understand what aspects of your life can really lead to an increased risk of falls. Things that a lot of us probably don't even think about, right? I mean, if you think like dental care, things like that, like what would that, but really truly your dental care, and if that leads to problems that can throw things off, the management of your medications, the pharmacist will go through that to help you reduce your risk of falls in that manner. So that is a really great class, and we hold that in both counties. And then we have Living Well with Chronic Disorders, and that just helps people navigate and move through their chronic disease in a manner that helps them have, again, the highest level and quality of care.
Yeah. And when you say it's an 8-week course, you'd start out and you'd run 8 weeks, and then you'd start over again with those 8 weeks?
So most of our programs are 6 weeks. The stepping on is 7 weeks.
Okay.
People can take the class over if they want, but they will get the entirety of that class within that 6 to 7 weeks that they're taking. Now, if they want, we usually offer it 2 to 3 times a year.
Okay.
So if they wanted to repeat the class, they absolutely can. But they will get the entirety of what the program has to offer within that 6 to 7 week period.
6 or 7 weeks. Good. That sounds great.
Yep.
You're talking about people falling and walking and exercising. I've been to the YMCA, and I enjoy walking there. I think it helps me. There's a gentleman that I know there who is in his 90s, and he always passes me by. So it's kind of like I know it's working well. But
Get that movement in.
Right.
Yeah,
He must have
yes.
come to the stepping on class.
I'm sure he probably did. Yes.
And really, even like when you're talking walking, like the physical therapist that comes, they'll actually look and watch at your gait, like how you walk, and help you with tips on what you might be doing that in your walking manner too, that will help you to reduce your risk of falls.
Could they come to the Y and
Right,
watch
right,
me
yeah.
for a while? Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm going to turn to you now a little bit, Melissa. The disability benefits specialists.
Yep, so our disability benefits specialist program, we have two, we call them DBSs. We have one that covers Manitowoc, or we have two that cover Manitowoc County, and one that goes back and forth between Manitowoc and Kewaunee County. So we have them available in both counties. What they do is they can help with anyone who is going to be turning 18 if they're needing to apply for disability benefits as an adult, or anyone who, say, they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and unfortunately have a condition or something that's preventing them from work. They will help them to see if they qualify for Social Security disability, and they'll go through all those public benefits as well to see if it's something that they would qualify for. A lot of times our disability benefits specialists too, they will help during our open enrollment for Medicare as well, checking those Part D plans. They would be in that age group of the 18 to age 59 to check over those.
Okay. And also, I understand you have an information and assistance specialist.
Yep, so those are the people that that you would talk to on the phone when you call our office, and then they will kind of triage and figure out what it is that you're looking for. Because a lot of times people will call and say, I don't know what I know I need resources for myself or my loved one, but I'm not sure what's all available. And their job is to provide what we call options counseling, where we can go through and kind of figure out, okay, what resources may help this person stay in their home as long as possible, or help them, to figure out what their food needs are, or figure out the public benefits program, how to navigate all that, see what's all available and the community that they live in.
And you mentioned triage. I know I was always kind of triage. I used to watch it on MASH, and I remember, we're going to triage this.
Figure
That's
things
nice.
out, right?
Yeah, but that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's just kind of trying to figure things out.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's just needing to talk through processes and they're like, I never thought of home delivered meals, or I never thought of the prevention programs. That might be something that could help benefit, somebody who's might be living with a chronic condition or a physical disability.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, you bet. Well, that sounds, and you guys have the resources where I wouldn't think of anything like that. I go, well, what do I do now? And so on. When we were first starting our conversation here, you mentioned that there's like 3 basic areas that you've done. One that I don't think we've discussed too much is Alzheimer's.
Yep. So one of our programs that our office offers also in both counties is our dementia care specialist. So she also goes between both of our offices and offers several educational opportunities, along with different programming that we offer throughout the year. She's able to do some memory testing. That way people can kind of get a baseline if they think they're starting to have some memory loss. We have some testing tools that we've been trained to use so that they can bring it back to their primary care doctor as a baseline. Okay, in 2023, this is where I was at, but, years down the road, you may want to redo it and say, okay, maybe my memory loss has progressed, and then the doctor can have that to compare. We also offer educational opportunities. We have a Dementia 101, kind of the basics, like what is dementia and Alzheimer's. There's all different forms of it, and, which one, does my loved one have? Trying to figure that out and just educate yourself is one of the best things that you can do as a caregiver, a friend, a family member, with somebody who may be diagnosed with that. One of the other programs that we offer in both counties is our virtual dementia tour. It's a great experience for anyone to go through who may be looking to educate themselves more. It could be a family, friend. We have professionals that come through our virtual dementia tour. What it is it's a simulated experience, so that way a person can know what it's like to live with with memory loss.
Mhm.
And we I don't want to give away too much of the experience, but anyone who goes through it, when they're done, they may have an emotional connection to it, and they definitely walk away learning a lot about the disease, about the process, and oh my gosh, I never thought of that. Then maybe that's why, it could, again, I don't want to give away too much, but
Yeah.
definitely encourage anyone to sign up for it. We always offer it a couple times a year in Kewaunee County.
And I know, I'm not trying to give it away either, but,
Yeah.
but I know eyesight, hearing, those
All of
sort of
those.
things,
Yep.
can,
go over
can
all
certainly
that stuff.
affect people.
Yes.
And that's all
In all
I'm
different ways,
because I don't know
yes.
any more about it than
Yeah.
that either.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
good.
So that's one of the great programs that we're able to offer in both counties is that virtual dementia tour, the memory testing, and again, lots of educational opportunities that are available.
Okay. We have come very close to the end, and this is always a sad time because I'm not sure we've covered everything. But I'm going to turn to you on this one, Wendy. And if somebody says, I think I've got a problem, or I think I need help, or I want to just talk to these people, how do they get in touch with you?
They can call 877-416-7083, or we do have our website, ADRC of the Lakeshore website, and we also have a Facebook page. And on there, we try to keep things updated, our programs on there, but they can always call us at our number.
Right. Do you want to repeat those one more time?
Absolutely.
Okay.
877-416-7083, and then we have a website, ADRC of the Lakeshore, and then we also have a Facebook page.
Okay. I'd like to thank both of you for being here. This is very informative, and it seems like all of our guests are always fun. So thank you so much. We've been talking to Wendy Hutterer, who is the director of the Aging and Disability Resource Center of the Lakeshore for Kewaunee and Manitowoc counties, and also to the ADRC program manager, Melissa Konop. And we thank you so much for being with us today, and we hope you have a great week. We hope you have a great month, and we'll see you back here next month. Take care, everybody. So long.